Goodness gracious me. Last day of
Great
the
balls of
year,
fire.
and here we are recording the video.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try and see if this works. Ugh. Hello, everybody.
Look at that.
And welcome to the paper review of AEW's World's End, I should say, 2024. I am your host, David Kerwin, joined as always by my lovely and naked co-host, Jeff Cooney.
Yes, the Wrestless pod has not been taken over by children. I had an argument with the shaver, and the shaver won. I will hopefully be back to fully bearded glory of the new year, but at the minute it does feel like the ending of the world.
You look like 2009 Drake.
Oh, no! Oh, it's Ricochet's gimmick. What are you shouting me with that for? God damn.
We'll get on to that later.
Yeah, oh, my God, we will.
Oh, God. There was a great fucking thing. I don't know. It was on, like, Dynamite. If Ricochet ahas, we riot.
Oh lordy, lord! I love the aha. It's the one time I want to put this over. It's the one time they've given someone a stupid laugh
because they know it's stupid
for me.
Because they know
but it's worked
stupid.
for me.
Yeah,
but they've done it with so many people over the years. This is the only time it's worked for me. I kind of love it
because it's meant to be stupid and funny and not just be annoying. You said.
Very, very true. I know. I like Seth too. I like Seth.
We're recording this after Raw. Did you fucking see what he said?
I heard that he failed in another company or some bollocks. Yeah,
that wasn't even the worst one. That wasn't even the worst one.
Go on, hit me with a zinger. I haven't seen Raw yet.
Phil mentioned Becky. Did she take her ball and run home with it? And he's like, "No, she's taking a break to raise a kid." Not that you would know anything about that.
Oh, Sethington Rollins. That is just a zinger, my friend.
Which apparently Phil took legitimate issue with. So, if you
what? Whoa! Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's get it straight. Phil Brooks, C. Montgomery Punk, took issue with a worked line. That's crazy. I don't believe that. In the year of our Lord 2024, no.
I mean, look. All I'm gonna say is, Seth is very good friends with the Young Bucks.
Hey, I just think you're listening to those dirt sheets too much, brother. I think a consummate professional like CM Punk, known complete pacifist.
I think it was like. I don't know if Seth's supposed to be the heel or not, but that isn't a very just like both in kayfabe and reality, a very dick move. Yeah,
I think they're like just two bros chilling in a hot tub 5 feet back. They're not gay. I'll be honest. Well, depending on how Punk puts his promos to Rollins.
I mean, if your rivalry lasts longer than 5 years, you are no longer rivals. You are just gay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very, very true. But in the interest of how long this show was, how tired we both are, and how I have work later on, I think we should get down to the ending of the world. So welcome everybody. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, get ready, because it was less long than usual, but still pretty long. Lovely AEW show.
Yeah, it was AEW from the Edition Financial Arena in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, baby. WWE territory, brother. We're in Florida, baby.
The crowd is actually quite good for the show.
Really enjoyed the crowd. A few light spots, but it was all right. It was good. We had the pre-show, obviously. We'll go through that briefly. So, we had Tony Time.
The hottest
best rookie of the year.
The hottest rookie that AEW's ever
Here's
had.
That.
She took on Layla Gray of Top Flight. Very good little 6-5 minute match,
Yeah, it was good stuff.
She's good stuff. She was getting her stuff in, She did the very basic training routines that you make us go through, like rolling out, kip up out of an arm drag.
Yes, yeah, all that good stuff.
Lovely
the crowd
stuff.
Were good here as well.
The crowd are very behind this youngster. Yeah. And she won with a technical roll-up to a very big reaction. You could see it meant a lot to her. And we're so proud of this young rookie. I see big things for her.
Her first pay-per-view appearance for AEW, you know? And I would like to shout out Nigel for the first time in the show. The AEW Women's Championship scene was so black and white before Mariah, but now it's a gorgeous Technicolor. Fantastic work. Great stuff from Nigel. Nigel obviously reinforcing the Amnesia storyline, which I love, to which Tony and Excalibur are like, she's been here for years. She's three-time champion. I don't know what you're talking about. And Nigel's like, oh, great upstart is Tony Storm. I'd love to see her versus Mariah.
I would just like to point out that it is very hypocritical for Tony Schiavone specifically to like go against this delusion when he actively reinforces the Outrunners delusion.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone needs to get an out brain scan, mate. You gotta remember.
He's got a CTE. And then next we had a match with a surprising amount of crowd heat. Jeff Jarrett took on QT Marshall. Yeah,
QT was good in this. Really solid, just a solid classic match. Jeff getting big pop for the strut, which is great. QT got a lot of heat. He knows how to work a crowd. Like QT's a great player for this kind of role, and he knows his role very well. There was a really nice back handspring enziguri from QT, really clean, really nice stuff. Jarrett got all the love from the crowd. There was a bit of interference, and Jarrett wins with the strut.
Yep, wins with the
fantastic,
very nice stroke.
Yeah. Good stuff. Solid match, man. Solid pre-show match.
Exactly. And you know, it's an AEW show. There's a clusterfuck multi-man tag.
Of course there is. Of course there is.
8-man tag team match. We had Lio Rush and Action Andretti, formerly of Top Flight, with the murder machines of the Doncaster family. That is, of course, the Murder Hawk Lance Archer and the Machine Brian Cage.
Gorgeous name. Love the name.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Give them the belts, you cowards. Yeah, and they would take on the very, very over team of the Outrunners, who were just at home in Orlando, obviously.
Youngest men alive, you know.
Youngest men alive,
the early 60s, I believe.
And we're just going out the day before Dynamite. I'm sure they're going to have an interaction with their beautiful proteges, the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff for the Outrunners. Obviously, coming into their 6th decade of professional wrestling, really strong, and they don't look a day over 45. Fantastic stuff. It's really good. Really
also, fun of course, the original one's Top Flight. Now, the story behind this is the Top Flight and Andretti and Rush have been fighting for a while. They both want the tag titles. They had a little kerfuffle in the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. They were eliminated legitimately. Mm-hmm. And then, the tag team champions, Private Party, came up to him and said, like, hey, you can have a number 1 contenders match. And
fair enough.
Rush and Andretti, who have not had many tag team matches, won. That was the story here, that they were just being dicks. And after a lot of flippy fuckery, as I like to call it, flip fuckery and grapple fuckery, my 2 favorite parts of wrestling. Yeah. After Murder Machines did all of the work,
correct.
Action Andretti and Lio Rush stole the pin. They pinned.
Great shit-ousery. Great shit-ousery from the boys.
I love this. I love this. I love their stupid outfits as well. Spikes on the back of the coat.
The stupid fucking jackets. Like, oh no. I love it because it's heel, so it's all good. But yeah, a solid pre-show, I think. So it's what it needs to be. It's one of the very few pre-shows I've actually tuned in for. Because usually I do leave the pre-show stuff to you because it's a long show. It's a very long show. But no, I
say that, but there's only one match that went over 20 minutes on this card, which is rare.
I know, which is
the one match and it was a women's match.
Wash. Women. But yeah, good stuff all around here. But I suppose with the little preamble done for the pay-per-view, let's get into what was an absolutely heated start.
One of the best openers in AEW history, probably one of the best openers in professional wrestling history for a pay-per-view.
It was so good.
The first semifinals of the Continental Classic, as Will Ospreay takes on former best friend, former underling, former brother Kyle Fletcher.
Okay, so how do you want to do this? Because I have this pointed out. I could take you through a dance of the whole thing if you like. Go for it,
bro.
Perfect. Right. So, first of all, I'd just like to note, it's insane, like, how much Ospreay has done in the short time he's been here. I just like to highlight how he's been such an integral part, not only of being just like who he is, the best wrestler in the world, not like just putting himself over. He's like created stars. Yes. Like the whole stuff, all the stuff with Fletcher, putting over Swerve, like he's been really, really
he's selfless. Yeah, which
very generous.
A lot of people who watch a certain corny merchant might not believe that, but yes, he is like utterly selfless for how good he is.
And what I say to them, thank you, fuck you, bye. But we do have as well Kyle Fletcher, who again in his short time as like coming onto the solo scene as a heel, absolutely killing it. Like fantastic. The command of the crowd alone, like obviously we knew he was a great worker, but the way he works as a heel is phenomenal stuff. Very, very good stuff. And that word is a key word. Remember, phenomenal for later. But these two, really, really great stuff. They know they don't have much time, so they just jump into third gear.
Oh, they just go mental from the offset.
They just go. We have reversal for reversal. We have familiarity show between them. The only time they stopped reversing each other was when Fletcher powdered out. The only thing they hit early on in the first like 5 minutes was a couple of chops because it's all they could do.
Oh, those chops were loud. They were loud. They were electric. They were actually louder from Ospreay, who is a good bit shorter than Fletcher, which shocked me.
Oof. Ospreay has some.
The clap shots, of that, just like.
Yeah, they'd light up.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really good stuff. Oh, like. I don't know how Ospreay floats in the air, but the cannonball senton he hit on Fletcher off the apron.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like the guy,
one of
like
my signatures as well is that
held in the air for like a minute, and it was just gorgeous. Floated, rolled out perfectly. Nigel put over on commentary not only the perfect execution of the move in an offensive manner, the beautiful landing. Obviously taking out any impact, like nice stuff, putting that over. Ospreay then leaps over the steps for a Hurricanrana as he's attempted before. Fletcher just catches him, hits a nasty apron powerbomb right across his shoulder blades, like a high bloody powerbomb.
That looked like it sucked.
Then we have a lawn dart into the barricade to boot from Fletcher, which allows Ospreay the time to blade. And then
he bladed a fucking gusher.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get there. It was like Drew McIntyre levels. But Fletcher then hops up, soaking in all the heat. He rips up a sign saying Ospreay better.
And then the fan
pulls out an Ospreay still better one.
He pulls out another sign without even missing a beat that says Ospreay still better.
Look, likelihood it's probably a plan. I don't give a shit. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic.
That's great comedy. I love that. And if it wasn't a plant, oh my god, you deserve a lot of respect.
Yeah, if it wasn't a plan, fair play to you. If it was a plan, keep bloody doing it, because that's the way you should use your plan. It's good stuff. Just fuck you, Kyle Chad's raided out. And we
I think I said it to yourself, or maybe it was in the other chat that was in. You haven't heard this many fuck you, Kyle Chad, since Cartman was at his peak of popularity.
God.
Fuck you, Cal. Fuck you, Cal. Fuck you, Cal.
We have them right out as you see the absolute crimson mask just enveloping Ospreay's face. Like
this is like, I think this is like somewhere between 0.8 and 0.9 on the Muda scale.
Oh my god, dude, it was insane.
Yeah,
it really reminded me of McIntyre in the Hell in a Cell match. Fletcher then wipes and licks Ospreay's blood from his boot after kicking him. This is perfect.
I had several friends, some of whom were at the show, and one of them who was not, who was watching it on pay-per-view, be like, I feel so feral right now after saying that.
Oh, God, yeah, disgusting boy. But then Fletcher takes his time on the top rope, a little bit too much time, as he's licking the blood again. And Osprey plants him jaw first at the top buckle.
Oh,
Fletcher
that
then
ruled.
catches Osprey as he goes through his handspring into Geary and lawn darts him into the buckle, and it just gushes the cut even more from Osprey, like really tears it open. Osprey's selling is phenomenal. People say he can't sell. People say he can't settle a story or whatever. Watch this match, like the
Oh
absolute, like
shit! Yeah,
it was, and it was proper actual selling. Like I don't want to give it out, but you know, like you do your ragdoll selling, you could do your over the top selling, and that's great, and I love that. Osprey really sold the hell out of this, like making sure it meant something. And later on, we see him as well. But there were small boots from Kyle, which was just great character work. Those little like heelish little, I'm gonna barely tap you because you can't even
the
move
little
anyway.
face washes, the little disrespect.
Yeah, just proper healing it up. Will just takes his head off with a clothesline, like absolutely clobbers the man. There's a nice back body drop, then a snake eyes, then a big boot from Will, shouting out the boy, the Undertaker. Shout out to Mark. And then he ends it with a Sky Twister, which I don't think was a shout out to the Undertaker. I think that was a Kane shout out, obviously. But anyways, we have a nice couple of thrusts. Oh, stop! Yeah, what my goat. It's a Sky Twister, all right. But Osprey then nice couple of kicks from Kyle. Osprey then hits Stun Dog Millionaire. Osprey calls for the cutter, but Kyle drops him with that snap half and half suplex.
Oh, lovely, it was beautiful. He just grabbed him out of midair.
Yeah, really, again, reminiscent of Kenny with his Snapdragons and how like quick he just flips him over with the hips. His Spanish Fly reversal from Osprey, which was gorgeous. A chop exchange then from both men. Will hits a question mark kick, both reversing each other, but Will hits a cutter. Fletcher goes for a low dart, but Will somehow flips into a poison Rana. I don't know how he did this. And he does one that's even more unbelievable later on. But how did he, like, he was up for a lawn dart and he just ran at him. Like, he was physics. I don't know who you are, mate. Really great stuff.
He just glitched.
Yeah, he literally, like, he just glitches into it. It's like a 2K glitch. It's crazy. And then Fletcher hits a hidden blade. Shout out to Nigel. Yeah. Sorry, what?
Which had me marking out, which is like, oh god damn. Yeah.
Goddamn shine. Then there was a shout out to Nigel and Brian with that headbutt spot where they were just absolutely not as
they
bad
were just charging into each other.
And really, like, really nice work from Osprey here.
I think I saw like a similar exchange was Eddie and Ishii in the G1. Headbutting each other at speed.
Just nutting each other.
Shibata from backstage just getting PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah, he takes out his brain, gives it a wipe, pops it back in, makes sure it's all right. But Osprey, great psychology, because he keeps leading into it, and as soon as Kyle leaves his feet, he catches him perfectly with a super kick, just drops him to the floor, showing Kyle is a fantastic athlete. He's still
got a ways to go.
He's got to learn. Fletcher then hits a roll up, but he's using the ropes and is caught by Turner, which is great. Turner, obviously the best ref in the company. We'll get to the worst one later. Bryce, you bastard. But anyways, Turner catches him. Fletcher is then caught with a hidden blade after arguing with Turner, but kicks out. Turner then gets pulled in the way of Osprey, and Fletcher hits a thrust kick, a high boot in the corner, and a brain buster for a near fall. Then catches Will with a knee and a gorgeous Liger bomb. Like, that Liger bomb was beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's called the Proto Bomb now, his version.
I think I'll take that because that was bloody gorgeous. It was like a last ride, sit out last ride, lovely. But only
Batista Bomb-esque, yeah.
Yeah, very Batista Bomb-esque, but like better. But huge.
I mean, like, if we're talking about Kyle and members of Evolution, I think we all know which member of Evolution he reminds people of.
Exactly. It is the legend killer himself. But yeah, we have a huge high boot from Fletcher, and then he holds Will up and flips him around into the corner for another, which was really nice stuff. He then goes for a brain buster, but Will somehow turns it into a Hurricane Rana. David, as a trader in pro wrestling, how did he do this? How did that happen?
I mean, look, brain bust. I think it's all just like the lift is how he did it.
Yeah.
where lift, you can just sort of flip, but even then you need to wrap your legs around someone's head.
Yeah, like I watched it 3 times. I still didn't get what happened.
It's all like sleight of hand. You're focusing on the body flipping up, but you don't notice the legs just sort of grabbing as it comes down. Yeah.
Yeah, again, Will Ospreay, obviously the man that physics forgot, or never met in the bloody first place. It was nice then after the Rana, as I said at the beginning, phenomenal talents, a phenomenal styles match for the win.
Yeah, the crowd, the crowd, of course, as they have been for the last 5 pay-per-views in a row, every time they see Ospreay get up for it, they yell, "Styles Clash!"
Very, very good
and he actually won a match with it.
Yeah, thank God. That's one thing I've been really critical of, is like it just being used as a transition move. And I'm like, well, it's not a DDT. No offense, Jake, but it's not a DDT. Come on. But anyways, really nice stuff.
Yeah, and then like it plays into a certain match later on. We'll get to that.
Of course.
So Ospreay advances to the finals.
Yeah, Will gestures at the end to Kyle that they're 1-1. They need a rubber match down the line. Will
in
really
Australia.
Yeah, 100%. Nigel then, great call. Will Ospreay is becoming synonymous with a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Column AC at Nigel. And Will Ospreay is insane. Fantastic stuff. And Kyle has been fantastic. I think just want to highlight here before we go on, because we will obviously go on to the second semi-final next. This C2 has been incredible. Better than the first one, which was
even
a high
with
bar.
like the supposed lack of star power, I actually think that works more in its favor because it's elevating everyone else up the card.
Yeah, I don't think there's one person in the C2 that hasn't been in some way, shape, or form elevated by this, you know?
Yeah, like even Morthos and Commander, who are essentially the jobbers of their group, feel a lot more important because of it.
They're 2 people who I could see go on to next year's and you know, progress the same way Briscoe did and Garcia did this one, you know? That progression.
Commander, off the back of his incredible underdog performances, won the Ring of Honor World Television Championship.
Exactly. Like there's progression for everyone here, and it's great. And speaking of progressing, let's move on to the second semifinal with Ricochet versus the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada.
The reigning and defending Continental Crown Champion.
Correct, sir. So really, really good stuff here. Start off a little bit slower. Obviously, you're not going to keep up with Fletcher and Ospreay. Why would you try? And it's also really interesting to see Ricochet and Okada mix it up.
Because they were around each other a lot in New Japan, but never 1-on-1 because Ricochet was junior.
Exactly. It was really, really good stuff. So Okada, it's just simple stuff like Okada grabbing Ricochet by the ears and lifting him up, like perfect. We have a nice classic Ricochet sequence sending Okada to the outside, but holy shit, he just booted him right in the cranium, like dropped him really quick.
Yeah, Okada's drop kicks are a thing of beauty, but he hits some especially gorgeous ones in this match.
Oh my god, insane. The commentary obviously calling to the idea that both men were in some way influenced by Ultimo Dragon, which we'll get back to.
Which is a beautiful little shout out. I love that. Right. Ultimo is one of the best wrestlers of all time, but just from my perspective, love him. And
it was a nice shout out that, unassuming as it may be, Okada is more than well equipped to deal with high flyers. As you wouldn't think so, because he's a big guy and everything like that. He betrayed from Ultimo Dragon.
And he's also obviously Will Ospreay fought AJ Styles.
Exactly. But it's nice for someone like myself. Obviously, you are completely way more familiar with the Japanese side of things in pro wrestling. As someone who is kind of familiar with it, aware of the people, I really love those little tidbits on commentary where they do kind of play up that stuff. It's like, oh yeah, like of course this would like I'm aware of that, but bringing it to my attention.
Oh yeah, just like especially because Ricochet's big like. You don't exactly have modern Ricochet without his time in New Japan.
Oh, no, not at all.
No, yeah, and obviously these two made their names in tournaments, Ricochet in the Best of the Super Juniors and Okada in the G1.
Yeah, exactly. They put that over as well. Now, I did just collate all of the lovely chants towards...
I was going to bring this up.
One little note.
Make Sean proud. The crowd would made Sean proud.
There was bald chants.
Are you bald? Yeah.
There was Baldy Chance. There was da 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 da. Hey,
you're bald.
There was also, which I loved, he's got hair chance for
He's got hair. He's got hair.
Just great stuff. And Ricochet
yeah.
so good. It just builds his character so well. Again, another reason why having him here is so important for building his character.
He just looks just gradually getting more and more annoyed.
Yeah, oh, it's great. Then Okada snapmares Ricochet, and he goes through that. He runs the ropes.
Yeah, he runs the ropes 4 times, building up, stops, then slaps his bald head.
And then Nigel with a beautiful call. He didn't learn that from Ultimo Dragon. Which is great. It's just so good. He's on point. So back to more important stuff in the match that is just a load of bollocks, but we love the bollocks as well, of course. Ricochet grabs Okada's leg as he was coming into the ring and crotches him. It was really nice, really kind of different. And hits a suicide dive and then starts hot dogging to the crowd, which was great. He's like, oh, what's wrong with your boy now? I was like, this is great. This is perfect. Ricochet sold a DDT from Okada so well. Like, it was near Pac levels where he just slumped and just stayed as he dropped him, like, all arched up. Like, it was fantastic. Okada then avoids a springboard and avoids a handspring by Ricochet, but Ricochet's still too quick, hits a back suplex and then a lion salt for a 2, and then a standing shooting star for another 2. Classic Ricochet stuff, you know, using that speed to overcome the hulking, like, massive amount that Okada is to him, you know, like, really, really good stuff. Okada then avoids a 450, grabs Ricochet up for a white noise neck breaker. Again, there's definitely a name on that, but I always forget it when I'm writing my notes. It's where he lifts him up and then he like, drops him on the neck. Really,
I think he calls his one Heavy Rain.
Yes, that's it. Because you always tell me whenever there's no Okada match, I'm like, oh, he doesn't.
Yeah, like I don't remember. Like, I can understand because a lot of people, like, it's brought up intermittently.
Yeah,
like sometimes they forget what it's called and just call it like a neck breaker or just say what a move.
Yeah,
what a maneuver.
What a maneuver. But Ricochet then reverses a Rainmaker. Then Okada reverses Ricochet's detonation kick. Ricochet caught by Okada with a drop kick, which was gorgeous. But then Okada gets dropped awkwardly with a vertigo, which was like, he just about hit it well. Like, it was, I was worried for a second. I was like, no, Okada, don't drop him. But
it's
really,
more
really
important than you right now.
Yeah, come on, Ricochet, play your part, brother. But yeah, nice near fall there. Shooting star press from the top, but a lazy cover from Ricochet allows Okada to get the shoulders up, which they point out on commentary. They're like, well, if Ricochet had really leaned into that cover, he just kind of lackadaisical, and that's what got him. Okada then avoids a spirit gun, takes some rough kicks, but does catch Ricochet again with another drop kick. Holy God, like,
yeah.
I always forget how gorgeous his drop kick is, like Randy Orton-esque in terms of how perfect it is, you know?
Like, perfect timing as well. It's because you forget just how tall he is until he does that drop kick. He's a very tall boy. Yeah,
you see him like fully extended. You're like, holy shit, he's giant. But
he's a big boy. Yeah.
And then we have a gorgeous Rainmaker for the win, and Okada advances. I'd like to pause here and just discuss the match before we get into what they did.
Oh God!
But anyways, how do we feel about the second semi-final, mate?
I loved it. I was just amazed. Like, people have given Okada flack, especially. It's not an AEW thing. This is him. Just... No. This is like even going back to New Japan. Like, you know, when he's not motivated to do something or it's not something important, he supposedly doesn't care. And while in some cases that's true, it actually adds to some of his character. Especially like back last year when his whole character was fuck them kids.
Yeah, no, pretty much, yeah. Like,
you weren't gonna do what I did. Go fuck yourself. Get it to the back of the line, bitch.
I think there's a very distinguishing line between the Okada not caring and someone like a Randy Orton not caring. Whereas when Okada doesn't care, sorry, go on.
Or as we'll find out later, John Moxley not caring.
Oh Jesus, we'll get to him, man.
Yeah,
but
Okada, just like you very clearly see that he cared a lot, and it was a great match. Even if it's clear that like he was just leaving his tank, like running for the finals, as we'll get to later.
Yeah, but that's it, and they really put it over on commentary, like his resting heartbeat, how he's conditioned as a tournament wrestler, and how different his match with Ricochet here was, as opposed to Ospreay going balls to the wall with Fletcher, which we'll see how that impacts him later on in the co-main. But after Okada wins and leaves,
out comes Swerve.
Okay, let's just get through this, and then
the burial of Trevor, man.
The burial of fucking Swerve, mate. Oh, I didn't like this at all. So out comes Swerve with a mic. Swerve calls out Trevor for not winning the tournament as he said he would. Swerve says that if Ricochet blew it like he did, he was going to embarrass him. Ever since Ricochet came here, he was just running his mouth, even taking credit for the company's existence. He says he's going to clean up his mess. And then Nana comes out with a rake of bog roll in a bloody wheelbarrow. Nana hands out the bog roll to the crowd. Swerve says they want to help Ricochet, right? They want to give him a clean slate for 2025, right? So he says, I'm going to give you a countdown, and then we're going to throw the bog rolls to the ring. Yeah. He's like, Happy New Year, Ricochet, and then they throw it all in. This was John Cena levels of dog. This was like Swerve Strickland, a man who cut a promo on a child and broke in to a training facility to beat the shit out of a kid, I'm sorry, should not be throwing toilet roll at someone. Why you? He's cool. Don't do this with him. He's so much better. It's so much better. I'm sorry. I'll be upset, but it's a load of bollocks. Come on, like he's better than that.
I think just like on its own, it's like it's a good comedy segment. Yeah, but look, I think this is gonna be like, as much as, you know, like it doesn't fit with like Swerve's or being a dangerous man. I do think this will add to Ricochet's character because, you know, he's trying to drive the hurt business and he's quickly gaining that sort of focused anger that like Lashley and Shelton have, and you can see it in his face. It's a man who wants to kill things. Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely the one positive of this segment, in that it's good for Ricochet's character. I just really hope this is the last John Cena bollock stuff to do with Swerve, because he's cool to that. But again, I will admit,
a match announced.
Oh yeah, is it for Dynamite or something?
I think it's for Collision. Hold on, let me get this up.
Oh yeah, they are building Collision back up, which is good. Which is good. I think
now that it's also on streaming.
The other week, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, 640,000, which is almost Dynamite numbers.
Very good for them. You know. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
speaking of character moments, let's go backstage to Mr. William Ospreay, mate. Oh, this was fantastic. So they go back to Will Ospreay. Renee asks him how he feels about the finals. And Ospreay just like waves off the chair. He's like, oh, bruv, I don't look too bad, do I? And he's like covered in blood. and Will says, oh, mate, I've wrestled Okada like 10 times and I've only beaten him about 8 of them. But, you know what? I'm going to fight because I'll flip and live for this shit, baby. Oh, I got a bit little lightheaded there. But Florida, I need you to get up off your asses and tell me I can do this. He goes, honestly, mate, I feel like I've been hit by a truck. Oh, this is about overcoming the best tournament wrestler, his mentor, his big brother. So after I beat Okada, I'm going to bloody Disney World, lads. he takes a pause and he goes, in the immortal words of Tony Khan, let's fucking go, lads.
I love this so much.
Fantastic. It's so good. It's so good.
The Billy Goat. Yeah.
Billy Goat, indeed, sir. This was so good. This was Daniel Bryan-esque in terms of a fiery babyface promo in the back. In that, like, swears it's your classic fiery babyface promo, but, you know, Will does it better than most could do it, in the same way Bryan does it better than most could do it. That's why they're two of the best to ever do it in the ring. But yeah, really, really good stuff. And unfortunately, from the highs of the highs to a lower point on the card. Not a bad match or anything, but just not too much build. Kind of your normal story from unfortunately from Mariah May's run as AEW Women's Champion. We have Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa in a Tijuana street fight for the AEW Women's title.
First off, I'd like to point out that Papa Rosa was mentioned ad nauseum throughout Zero Hour.
Dude, yeah, you couldn't forget that Papa Rosa was going to be there.
Bringing dirt from the graves of Tijuana. Which may or may not come up in the match itself, but all I could think of, especially as we got towards the end, was one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite shows, Dale Gribble from King of the Hill. Pocket Sand!
Oh yeah, let's get into this. This will be a quicker run through than the 2C2 finals.
I mean, look, if you want to emphasize the women's division, having a match filled with blood and violence is the way to go, as we've seen.
I mean, they're very good at it.
The legacy of Rampage is women's street fights. Yeah.
100%. Just hold on, I might have to pop down for a second. So do you just want to pull? Hot start, first of all. Mariah gets in Papa Rosa's face, and Rosa doesn't like that, so she leaps out onto her. Rosa is doing some really nice stuff. She has that edge, obviously, in specialty matches. They're putting over the fact that she's had a couple recently. She's obviously known for that in terms of her AEW history. And they also put over Mariah May as having one of the best years on the roster as well, winning the Owen Hart Cup.
Which even with her bad booking, she absolutely has.
Yeah. Oh, great year for Mariah. And speaking of Mariah, poor Nigel gets it for being quite praising of her. And he says, "What is it they say? Sip it out easy." Just great. Great from Nigel. Nigel's fantastic.
He doesn't take himself too seriously. That's why he's so good. Yeah.
Oh, he's fantastic, mate. Mariah May then powders out after Thunder brings in a bit of plunder. A vicious DDT from May on the top of the stage for a 2 count. May then spits tequila at Rosa, and Rosa drives May through a wooden board on the stage. Don't know why the wooden board was there, but it was there. Rosa grabs a trash can, but Mariah boots it into her, sending her back down the ramp. A nasty what was I going to say there? Sorry. Mariah follows up with a knee strike for a 2 then. Rosa rips open a pinata to release tax. I love that.
Yeah, which I said from even the beginning. I said as soon as I saw the pinata, that has fucking tax in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got, right? Then a Mayday on the tax for Mariah. But only a 2.
It looked brutal as well. Just the way she swung down, just that fucking...
Yeah, it was rough out. Mariah then hot dogs in front of Rosa's father and wraps barbed wire around her knee. She then goes for a knee to Rosa against the steps, but Rosa ducks out. So all that barbed wire gets shoved into poor Mariah May's knee. We have one person chanting for tables. I was a bit sad.
We want tables.
Rosa then whips May with her father's cane, which is nice. Thunder Rosa then gets out a table, and everyone cheered, and then she used it as a ramp to leap into a Mr. Dropkick. Boo. Rosa then starts choking Mariah May with a chain.
Sick.
And then to Nigel screaming, "You vicious banshee!" Which is great. Really good stuff. May then throws the soil from Tijuana graveyards into Rosa's eyes, hits a pile driver off the apron through a table, which she's like to do this year, and takes the win and retains the belt. Yeah.
Before I say anything, Pocket Sand! I had to get it out there again. Yeah.
I respect it.
Honestly, for the lack of build this had, good match. It was fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. A theme for this match and the next match we're going to talk about, I believe.
But I think the next match had a little more build. A more coherent build.
We're talking quantity over quality, I believe. But yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, but I
had,
like this match. Great
yeah,
stuff. They're clearly just on hold until Tony challenges in Australia, I assume. So
yeah, we really are on bloody hold until Tony challenges in Australia. But hopefully the rookie Tony Time will be able to gather a few more wins before she's able to challenge for that belt and challenge Mariah May. But yeah,
who knows? She
grand
could
for what it
become a
was.
3-time women's champion. Who knows?
Who knows, mate? But yeah, next we have Maxwell Jacob Friedman in his effort to give back to the malnourished yellowish babies of the world against Adam Cole.
For the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Genuinely one of my favorite promos he's done was that. I think it was fantastic. But anyways, straight away, Max Powder's out of the ring. The Cole beats him down. Max Powder's out again, and he sends Cole into the steps. There's "He's our scumbag" chants, to which Max says, "If I needed your help, I'd ask for it. Shut the fuck up." Like, which is great. The only reason this match has any heat, I think, is Max, because he's just this like force of will in his feuds. Even when they're maybe not working, he just makes them at least get over to the degree where they can warrant being on a pay-per-view. You know, I think he's done really well. Not to say Adam Cole hasn't, but I just think Adam Cole needs to be getting a bit of aura, and I'm hoping after this he can go and get that. You know, but again, Adam was great in this match. We have Max going in on Cole, making him bleed more. Max then gets flipped off and cussed out by a teenager in the front row. Which is great. Like, this little 13-year-old girl is like flipping him off. It's like, fuck you, Max. And then you have Tony Schiavone on the commentary just go, "Oh, little girl."
Oh no, what have you done?
Oh no, what have you done to him? What have you done to my boy? You know? Good stuff though. Then we have Max gets in the ring and does push-ups. He's like, "Hey Adam, these are called push-ups, you piece of shit." Just so good. Like, just hammered home the whole idea of, you know, people attacking Adam's physique online, which has been a big thing for Adam. And I like that they're using it in storyline. Because it makes people be angry about it. Or, you know, if you're at 75% of this crowd, cheer it and get behind it.
Yay.
Yay. But Max catches Cole into that powerbomb onto the knee. I always love that move. It's so good. So clean. And different. Not a lot of people do it. It's good. Crowd is firmly more so behind Max throughout this. You know, there is Cole chance.
Which you think, given it's in Orlando.
You would think. You would, right?
He's Undisputed Era. Yeah.
Yeah, you think he'd be, you know, get a bit more, but no. Nice work from Cole, though. Stringing together pump kicks into Geary's, finished with a brainbuster on the knee for a 2, which was nice. Max avoids an attempt at the Panama Sunrise, and Cole's legs buckle. Then Max hits a vicious chop block, followed up by some stomps and tying it up in the ropes to the point where Cole can't even get to the opposite buckle without dropping off an Irish whip. Really, really good stuff. You know, really good limb targeting from Max. And then Max is on the outside and he turns to like 2 people in the crowd and he's like, "What are you doing, you 2 pieces of shit? Keep your fucking seats. What about you, Yosemite Sam?" It's just so good. He's just abusing the whole front row. Oh, Max then swings Cole's leg into the post to cheers from the crowd and boos when Cole reverses it.
Boo!
Keep breaking his leg. Panama Sunrise
then. Break his leg. Break his leg.
Cole finally hits the Panama Sunrise and it's a boom, but it's only for a near fall. Max drops before the next attempt at the boom, and on the third one, he hits a front chop block, destroying Cole's leg even further. Really nice stuff. And then Max, as they're both struggling to get up on opposite sides of the ring, "I never gave a damn about you, you piece of shit!" And they run and they start hitting each other because they're really gay and they want to kiss. We have a single leg takedown then on the bad leg from Cole into a figure 4 by Max. Cole flips the pressure because, you know, that's how it works. It's like, I love that. I love the just flipping over the figure 4s. It's good stuff. It's a classic wrestling plot, but love it anyways. Max finally gets to the ropes. Max then fakes an attack by the Kingdom, Eddie Guerrero style. He's out on the corner, slaps the steps, and he's like, "That goddamn piece of shit hit me." It's really good, playing it up. And Bryce Remsburg proves he's a piece of shit ref, and just throws them out when he didn't see anything. He just goes, "Yeah, I suppose you did that. Get out of here." Bryce sucks.
He does. He's the worst.
For a man who was able to referee a match between two invisible individuals, what the fuck are you doing, Bryce? You should be able to see this shit, you know? But
maybe he's playing 4D chess with us. Who knows?
Oh god, yeah. Max then sneaks the ring, but Cole catches him with a super kick and takes the ring, and then Max just absolutely boots him in the bollocks. Very good. Cole then hits a Heat Seeker to win, which I love that he's winning with the Heat Seeker, even if it was off a low blow. I love that move very much. I mean,
I prefer the Brain Buster. It's just that Kyle hits a better one as a finisher. So
yeah, and I don't think it suits Max too well. You know, I don't know. But anyways, good stuff.
Just go with the pile driver. Like even the pile driver off the second that he does. Yeah.
Oof, beautiful. Then. After the match, Max attempts to Pillmanize Cole's leg. Cut my music. I want everyone to hear me break his fucking leg. Max is just going ham, like proper, like seething, which is great. Roddy then runs in to get to have Max powder out. He goes up the ramp, but Kyle O'Reilly comes out. Max then tries to kind of explain it. Kyle's like, "Oh, come on, you know." And Max's like, yeah. He walks around. Kyle drags him, throws him back in. They hit the high-low. And then they hold him up for a shot with the Dynamite Diamond ring. And Cole and the five faces celebrate over the heel they just beat up after the match. That's psychology, folks.
Why do they do this? Like, even if they give the baby faces their heat back, you're still having them lose.
I would
they did this with Garcia as well. Yeah.
I just like to sum up the reaction to this moment. The two very famous words in this podcast. No pop.
Oh, so the Undisputed Era are back together in Orlando. Yay. Baby.
Look, on the bright side, this is over now, right? Right? Come on.
There is considerable doubt about this.
Oh, David, don't do it to me, mate. Come on, it's over. They can
Put them in the trios division. Fuck it.
Oh, God. But at least, next, we had a very, very solid match that the crowd got behind very, very much.
Yeah. Powerhouse.
Powerhouse Hobbs versus
match.
Oh, big meaty men.
Meat on meat violence. Yes.
A match I actually did not know was on the card till I was watching it. Yeah, this is because, you know, like the whole Christmas, New Year's period, you don't know what day it is or what time it is or where you are in the universe. But yeah, I did not know this was coming on. Absolutely love it though. A meaty forearm off to start us off, and the crowd getting behind Powerhouse Hobbs very well. Big pouts from Hobbs sends Takeshita out of the ring. Hobbs then hits like a trio of like world's strongest slams onto the apron when he's on the outside on Takeshita, which was really nice. It was really good. John just yelling Japanese into Takeshita is fantastic. He's like, "Kunasai!" And then it's just random Japanese words, and at the end he goes, "Very good, very good." And I was like, it just always gets me. Don Callis is fantastic.
He was on commentary.
Oh god. Then we have Takeshita shattered Hobbs' knee off the that was beautiful.
Selling the knee. Second match really in a row. Yeah.
You love to see it. That's how you book a character. Anyways, Takeshita suplexes Hobbs from the apron into the ring like he's a baby. Like the guy is jacked ass. Both of them are. Hobbs then bursts through a lariat and hits a crossbody and now belts those quarter clotheslines into the Alpha. Really, really nice stuff from Hobbs. He's like one of the most solid big men.
And I mean that both in terms of consistency and literal body size.
Yeah. Like his structural foundations, like, you know, really, really good. Takeshita then hits that leg hook tombstone. Oh my god, that should be his finish, but he has so many good moves. I don't mind that it's not.
I like his actual version of the tombstone finish as we see later in the Raging Fire. I love that move. Yeah.
Holy god, yeah, just great stuff. Both men then, instead of a chop off or a forearm off, just club each other with clotheslines. Like, it's really, really good stuff.
And you can
Um,
very audibly hear meat.
yeah, just big
Meat.
meat, chads.
Meat.
Gorgeous forearm by Takeshita, but Hobbs catches him with an explosive power slam. Love that, because it's not your clean, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit this really technical well. He just slams you, mate. I don't care where you are.
Yeah,
You're getting
that
dropped.
actually looks better. That was something brought up to me in training, is that
Yeah.
sometimes if it doesn't look as clean or as technical as you want it to look, it actually makes it look more realistic, more gritty.
Yeah, and that's
Adds
the
the
reason.
feeling. Yeah.
That's the reason the next match was so good, which we'll get on to in a bit. But really good stuff there. But yeah, after that power slam, both men have a head-on collision, and Hobbs clatters Takeshita to the ground for a very close near fall. Really nice selling there. Blue Thunderbomb, and Hobbs pops up at one, because look at the man. you know.
Yeah.
Hobbs then drops down after the attempted superplexes to Takeshita. And then this superplex from Takeshita, oh my god, like, Jesus. And he follows it up with a senton, but as he goes for the knee, Hobbs catches him into beautiful spine buster. Just I love his spine buster. It's clean, really, really good move. Then a big top rope scoop slam from Hobbs. Hobbs takes off the knee brace, and Takeshita kicks the knee out from under him, hits a forearm.
He kicked his leg out of his leg.
And then he locks in a guillotine for a bit, and then wins with the Raging Fire. Great
I
show.
love that move. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Every time he hits it on someone, it looks like he kills them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, this is death incarnate. But really, really fun match. Really nice, needed pick me up, I think.
Yeah, and that means now that he has successfully retained his title, he goes into Wrestle Kingdom this Saturday. It's going to be title versus title, him versus Shingo Takagi for the Never Openweight Championship as well.
And assume
Take 2 belts is coming, boy.
Yeah. And I assume at some point down the line he'll be going up against Okada. I would assume, because they've been kind of hinting at that for like the last few months. Like, it's going to be fantastic when they pull the trigger. But yeah, really, really good stuff. Speaking of Okada-san, he is backstage. Okada says, "Will is like my younger brother. He says he's on another level, but not Okada's level."
Bitch.
So good.
He's just having fun.
He's
like, people don't like a comedy boxer. It's like, this is the thing Okada has always wanted to do. He is a comedy wrestler trapped in a main eventer's body.
I mean, and he's great at it. Like, you can do comedy as a main eventer.
Oh yeah, you can. Like Orange Cassidy, for example.
Yeah, like, you can do it. It's been shown. It's been proven that you can do comedy shit, but be a main eventer if you're believable.
Yeah, and like another thing I was told in training is that the character stuff is what's going to get you over, so you can do your serious stuff later.
Exactly.
You can do both, and people will probably appreciate you more if you can do both.
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, next up, as we were speaking of earlier, sometimes when moves don't look as fluid, they can look even better, and this was a match full of them. I adore these two.
The longest ever women's match in AEW.
Again. But yeah, Statlander versus Monet 2 for the TBS title.
The best. Honestly, if she was around more throughout the year, I would probably give Women's Wrestler of the Year to Mercedes Moné, because, oh my god.
Fair. She's definitely in the conversation if she had a lengthier run with this more consistency that she's gotten lately.
The last 3 matches that she's had have been considered the best 3 women's matches ever held on American soil. So
yeah, which is understandable. It's understandable. But yeah, really good stuff. Felt like this was the first match that started with a collar and elbow all night, which I like.
Irish invention. Yeah.
Love to see it. We had a stat with some nice cartwheels and kip ups, showing off that she's not only a beast, but she's agile as well. Monet sends Stat outside, then hits a sliding drop kick to knock her to the floor. Monet then sends Stat into the steps and hits an arm drag to Stat, sending her into the barricade, and then a Meteora against the barricade. Really nice. They were really having fun with having actual barricades as opposed to railings as well.
Oh yes.
Really, really good stuff. That little arm drag into the barricade was really nice stuff from Monet. Monet then gets caught leaping off the barricade, and Stat marches around and up the steps and just drops her on the apron like she's like a bag of flour. Like really good stuff from Stat. We then have a nice Rana from Monet and a reversal of a suplex into a cradle. All this not looking like sloppy in a bad way, but a competitive struggle, as we talked about in the last match. It looks real. It looks like she's struggling to get Chris down, which is, you know, a lot of people do point at certain individuals and certain performers that, yes, it's slick, but it's very choreographed. And I understand that as a critique. Like, that's fair. But here, this was perfect. this was perfect. It showed that Monet was struggling but succeeding in these technical takedowns, which was really, really good. We had a nice fall away slam from Chris Stat. Just launching her. Just chucking her over her head.
Killed her.
Stat then goes for Oh, she does. She kills her multiple times in this match. That then goes for his superplex, but Mercedes slips between the buckles and hits an apron powerbomb on Stat. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, it was vicious.
That's not the most vicious move involving the apron in this match. We'll get to that.
No, we'll get there. Then a nice flip out of a powerbomb and a backstabber by Monet, really nice. And then a straightjacket backstabber as well. Then wrenching Stat back against Monet's knees. A Meteora attempt from the top rope, but Stat just catches her and drops her into a powerbomb like straight away. Like, it was so nice. Like, speaking of the struggles and stuff, this was fluid as. Like, just catches her, drops her straight down. Really, really nice work. Nice double tornado DDT from Monet for a 2, which again, going into the struggle, it looked like Stat had her. Monet used the second bounce off the rope. Really, really nice stuff from her. Like, really, really good. And really different. It's a different kind of match. It's good.
Yeah,
really cool to hear. So good. There was a nice Boo or Boo Earns moment on commentary where they're like, is that CEO or CEO? This is very good. Very good. I enjoyed it.
I was chanting CE no.
Monet then hits 7 amigos.
Seven
of them. Which, again, she's struggling. She's a bigger competitor. So, yeah, you're going to double down. Maybe even over double down. This is good. And then hits, unfortunately, her frog splash. Which, look, Monet's very good at a lot of things. Frog Splash is not one of them, but who cares? Because she's fantastic in the rest of the match. I'm not going to shit on her for Frog Splash, which is definitely better.
A lot of people do shit Frog Splashes. Christian, for example. His movement is this.
You hit a Frog Splash, but your Frog Splash is dead. But lovely stuff here. But hits a Frog Splash. Then this package pile driver for a near fall. Now, look, I don't know how I feel about it being used as a near fall, but it was lovely. But
look,
you know what
look at it. Look, people are like, oh, they wouldn't do this in the 90s. Yes, they did. People no-sold pile drivers in the 90s all the fucking time.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it wasn't a no-sell, but I think it's just because of how much it was put over recently on the other side of the pond. I'm kind of like, okay. All right, but it's a different company. They're gonna put out moves in different ways, so I can't be using logic from another company to dictate how I feel about this. So move on.
There's
then.
a much more brutal pile driver going up.
There is, yeah. Then there's a Moneymaker on the outside, roughly.
Ow.
Money trapped Stat's legs in the frame of the ring and steps on her. Like, God, really creative stuff. Then a Meteora from the apron to the trapped Statlander. Stat then catches Monet off the apron and hits an F5 on the apron.
Which was beautiful.
And then hits another one in the ring. Like, oh my God, she's great.
Women's title now. Yeah.
So good. But Monet then kicks Stat's legs from under her, falling on the top rope. And then Monet hits a wicked tombstone on the apron. Oh my God. That was very, very tall. And Monet is very, very small. That move looked very, very rough. But it was very good. Oh my God. Fantastic. And then a great beating of the 10 count by Statlander. Like, fantastic work all around. Monet asking Chris why she won't die and then slapping her and locking it a crossface and then a modified STF. but Chris gets to the ropes again, putting over that she's like this absolute cyborg of a woman who's just, she's so
More
tough,
than a
she's so resilient. But like so good, really really good stuff. A wicked lariat by Stat, but the Saturday Night Fever is reversed into an ankle lock by Monet. A couple of roll-ups by both women, but Monet clinches the win with like, I don't even know what she did with this roll-up. I don't know what it was. It's very very good though. This is fantastic. Really nice.
She has the experience edge over Chris. Yeah.
Exactly. Again, similar to Fletcher and Ospreay in the first match, it's showing that yes, these are both very, very good professional wrestlers. One of them has that little bit of edge in the experience factor.
On any other show, this would be match of the night.
100%.
I think this might be better than their first one, honestly.
Yeah, it could be. I'd have to watch them both back, but
it's definitely a contender for best women's match in AEW history. That or Jamie and Sheeta. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But yeah, like Stat then gets a really, really nice reception from the crowd, which we don't get a lot in AEW just because they usually pack the cards out with so many matches and there's not enough time for things to breed. This was lovely. This was deserved, and it was really nice to see Stat get that ovation. Next.
Speaking of match of the night,
Jesus Christ, we have William Ospreay versus Kazuchika Okada, the C2 final for the Continental Championship.
This is what we called. I called this from the beginning of the tournament. As soon as I saw these two are in opposite blocks, I was like, "Yeah, this is the final."
Yeah, like it made sense. I wouldn't be Fletcher Ospreay, but this was obviously we were gonna, as soon as we got like
both of them in the same company. Yes,
you knew it was gonna happen. Will looks haggard at this, like he barely hobbles out, can't even do the whole Ospreay. He's like, yeah. Yeah, bruv, it's alright, thank you. It's like very, very laboured ring.
Yeah.
Really good selling from him. But yeah, I start off New Japan style, they're trading forearms, they're trading chops.
Again, Ospreay can throw good bricks, but Jesus Christ, Okada's chops.
Oh my god.
You weren't even hearing the crowd go, we were kind of going,
It was rough. We had obviously we had Jim Ross as well, joined commentary for this.
Yeah, and I don't know who was pointing this out, but people saying like, "Oh yeah, Jim Ross." You know, the way he calls Okada's matches is perfect. Like people again have given Jim Ross a lot of flack for the way he calls certain matches these days, but when it comes time to deliver, he does. He makes Okada feel like Michael Jordan.
Superstar. Yeah. To be fair, I enjoy Salty JR anyway. I love when he gets a little bitchy.
Pronoun boy.
Where that was bowl and shoot ugly, that was. Get some barbecue sauce in JimRoss.com. I love Jim Ross. I will never not love Jim Ross. I don't care how many people call for him to be thrown out. He's not good. Get fucked. All right.
That's a Gary.
But yeah, really nice stuff here. A nice rad side, then a dive on him the outside as well. Ospreay pops over the barricade, goes for a dive from it to Okada, but Okada evades it and drops Will right on his noggin, mate, with a DDT, and then drapes one from the
the psychology here was just on point to an uncomfortable degree.
Fantastic stuff.
You have a glaring weak spot. Use it.
Yeah. Oh my god. And Ospreay gets in and is immediately just dropped with another DDT again. Okada obviously being the consummate professional wrestler that he is. This was some good stuff too. A neck breaker from Okada, which drops the gauze from Will's head, and Okada just starts wiping the sweat off him with this bloody gauze from Ospreay's injury. Like, it's so good. So good. And then the bandage he rips the bandage off and wraps it around his arm like a little armband.
Okada is the best at little growing people. I love it.
It's fantastic. So Okada gets on top for a bit. A nice swift counter of the DDT into a suplex by Ospreay there. Ospreay hits that handspring kick and then a diving forearm for a 2. Okada with a knee breaker on the outside, but Ospreay drives him into the barricade, hits that hook kick, and an Oz cutter to drop Okada. An Oz cutter then again in the ring for a 2. That gorgeous heavy rain neck breaker counter from Okada was clean as anything. We have a Rainmaker reverse, but then a John Woo drop kick knocks Ospreay to the ground, baby.
He just pelts him into it. It's
absolutely.
I like it. Just reminded me of when just anytime Kenny drop kicks Pac.
Oh my god, yeah, just
where
absolutely
he just flies into the buckles. Yeah,
dirty it was. Ospreay then avoids a second kick, but Okada gets the knees up from that Sky Twister press he tried.
Oh no!
And another drop kick from Okada connecting. Like it's really interesting when you see a wrestler who's just perfected a move and how much more impactful it is. You know, Okada with his drop kick. You know, like Gunther with his chops. You know, like there's different examples of like simple moves being done fucking perfectly. And how much it adds to them.
He tries to put on his shitty submission finish, red ink.
from consummate professional to this drizzling shit. But really
but thankfully it doesn't stick.
Rainmaker reversed into the power bomb and a Styles Clash combo for a 2.
Yeah, which again, obviously, given that he won the earlier match with it, the crowd bit hard.
Yeah, big pop. Really nice. Again, really nice psychology. Crowd well. Okada then catches Ospreay into a spinning power slam, then a Rainmaker, which he won his previous match with, but only a 2 again. It's nice. It's good stuff.
Eternal rivalry.
Yeah, fight forever, brother. Ospreay hates that, by the way. So if you see him, don't yell at him.
Forever.
He genuinely despises that fucking chant.
Yeah, because he's the one who gets it the most.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't want to fight forever, mate. I'm too tired. Let me breathe,
too tired,
please.
Let me go and have a nap, mate. All right. But lovely stuff. Ospreay just unable to stay on his feet, like really selling that head injury.
Yeah, he is just like on the verge of passing out.
Yeah, and then Okada kicking his head, picking up to his head, but he's just not able to move. He can't move. Like Okada just playing with them, really playing with his food. A high angle German, with the Rainmaker reversed into a Spanish fly by Ospreay.
I love that. That was the best reversal I've ever seen out of him.
Yeah, it's so good. Ospreay then no-sells a drop kick, hits his hook kick, but getting drop kicked out of the air when going for a cutter. Oh my god! It was so good.
Like these two have done terrible things to each other, but now that they're allowed Blade, you can just clearly it feels complete.
Yeah. Rainmaker then is avoided and will hit, and then Stormbreaker for a 2.9.
Yeah, and like you could hear the crowd. The crowd thought the Tiger Driver was coming.
Oh my god. Okada then flips out of the Tiger Driver attempt, hits a lariat, and holds onto the wrist of Ospreay. Gets that wrist control. Great shot as well of Okada just holding his wrist while they're both down. Ospreay absorbs a Rainmaker, hits a hook kick. Okada avoids a hidden blade and a kick from Ospreay. Goes for another Rainmaker. Ospreay flips over into a Stormbreaker.
Into the Stormbreaker, but Okada reverses it into an arm drag. Yeah.
And Okada catches Ospreay in midair, spins him around for a Rainmaker.
Rainmaker, 1, 2, 3. Okada wins the Continental Classic and retains the championship.
Fantastic. Okada and Ospreay shake hands at the end of it. 2 equally talented foes, you know.
Yeah, long-term rivals. Yeah,
fantastic
stuff. I was very much on the Ospreay should win the C2 train, but I'm not mad at this.
No, it was done perfectly.
I love it. I just need Okada to care more, please. Just do more of this, please.
It's fantastic, but I don't mind it because you do need to rein yourself in during stuff. If he just wants to pop out and do these on every other pay-per-view, I'm happy. That's why you get a pay-per-view. That's why you pay the money. You know, you pay the money to see Okada come out and do something like this. Great stuff. Christopher Daniels then comes out, congratulates Okada on his win. He says, "I can't present you this title because I'm no longer an
executive vice president. But this man is, and as soon as he said I'm no longer an EVP, Yeah, even before that, as soon as Daniel said he's no longer an EVP, you can just feel the crowd there. Like they know exactly who's about to come out.
Yeah, we have the return of Kenneth Omega. Kenny comes out suited and booted.
Okada's greatest rival.
Yeah, Kenny comes down and hands the title to Okada. Okada raises it in front of him.
And as you can see, and as the camera perfectly catches in the shot, there's the banner for All In Texas.
Yeah, which is where it's going to be. Going to be really interesting to see how they put together a match. What is it, 5 years on now? Is it about 5 years on?
No? The 7 years on.
7 years, yeah. Like, they're completely different wrestlers. Still fantastic professional wrestlers, but it's going to be really interesting to see the different dynamics that they bring into a match here, you know, and how they can reach those.
You want to talk about the matches that built AEW? Omega and Okada is one of the matches responsible.
Of course. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm very excited. This was the return of the night I loved. I guess we'll get on to the other one.
Let's talk about was there something between this and the main event?
No, not between this and the main event.
There was Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh yeah, that was great. Actually, yeah, that video package
at the start was
fantastic.
Guns N' Roses as a tradition for AEW pay-per-views. I would not mind that, please.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. AEW again showing we can do these things. We can do these video packages.
We can have Civil War for Revolution, please.
Oh, yeah. Right. So the Fatal 4-Way, the AEW World Title: Hangman Adam Page versus Switchblade Jay White versus Blood Orange Cassidy versus John Match. We had this was definitely a match of the night. A match.
Everyone tried except the actual champion.
I mean, look, let's just run through it and we'll tell you why we hate it as we go. So, the other three men of the match, bar Moxley, start off arguing and Mox powders out, but Cassidy hits a dive onto him. The three others then quickly get on the right side of each other and start beating down Moxley. And then Pac and Claudio drag Mox away. Page and White get Mox back and hold him while Orange hits an orange punch. Three men then drop Mox with a shield power bomb, and Hanger drops both men then right away after.
Shield lore. 10
shield
years
bomb.
On.
A shield bomb.
It's been a full decade.
Yeah. Still pop for it, I guess. I mean, but fall away slam into the buckles on Orange Cassidy by Hanger. It's rough. Loving White's counter wrestling here. It was the bright spot of this match. I have come full circle on Jay White for really not getting him at all when he came in, and now he might be one of my favorite performers on the roster. Just the way he approaches pro wrestling as like an art form and the differences and the little intricacies. Like I'm like, oh, it's Bret Hart. There's Bret Hart in there. Look, it's Bret Hart. But
I get it now.
there's a wonder Punk loved Jay White, right? There's a wonder he wanted to work with Jay. But yeah, really, really good stuff there from Jay. Moves are being hit, but it feels like the whole match is just going through the motions. Like it didn't feel at any point like they were hitting big moves, and I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, there's a cutter.
Some great reversals into the Blade Runner.
Yeah, really. That was the only.
We'll talk about the spot with the Blade Runner later that actually got the crowd up.
Oh yeah, White had nice work, taking out Mox and Hanger till Hangman drops him. Then Mox and Cassidy, Mox and Cassidy comes in with a couple of orange punches. Hanger pulls the ref out as Cassidy covers Mox for the 3. There's a couple of buckshots and then another Deadeye by Page, which was nice stuff. Yuta grabs Hanger by the leg and Marina gives Mox a chair. Page still manages a buckshot in there. Cassidy rolls him up and gets a low blow for his troubles as White drops Hanger with a Blade Runner and then drops Mox with a Blade Runner. It's really, really good stuff. I think he was the only guy who was over at this match, I'll be honest. Yeah, the crowd wanted to see Jay White, and that's about it. Then Yuta drops the ref to stop the count.
Yeah, and then Marina comes in. And I think as soon as everyone saw her and Jay in the ring together, they knew exactly what was coming. They've been teasing it for weeks. It finally happened. Jay White hit Marina Shafir with the Blade Runner to a massive pop.
And Bray Wyatt smiled from up in heaven. But yeah, Shafir gets dropped with a Blade Runner, which was finally
Beautiful.
getting her comeuppance. It was Psycho Knee then from Yuta on White. And Moxley
very loud fuck you Yuta chants.
Yeah, very loud. Hell healer Yuta. Healing it up, baby. Mox then with a Death Rider on him and a slow 3 count for the win.
It was very it's very Triple H Booker T-esque.
Yeah. I didn't like this match.
I think it's just especially right after Okada and Ospreay.
It shouldn't have main evented. There's a reason it main evented, and we'll get to that. But like, it shouldn't have main evented. It should have been the Continental Classic, because then it would make sense. 2 semifinals at the start, the final at the end of the bookend the show really well, and the best shows are bookended. But
why are the Death Riders a thing? I don't like this faction anymore.
It was really good until they dropped the ball with it.
They're geeks.
The Death Riders then descend upon Jay White, and out come FTR. Scratch that. Rated FTR. The return of
I did quite like just the way FTR's thing faded out into rated FTR.
Oh yeah, like it was nice.
Yeah, but, like, obviously I know you don't like the reason for it, but it is nice to see Copeland back. He's like, we're talking about like veterans coming in, not half-arse and shit. He's probably the best example of it.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't take up 40 minutes and beat a young guy again, I'll be happy. No, I love Edge. Edge is great.
I wouldn't call Malachi young.
Yeah, but like,
he's like 37.
Yeah, but he's young to me. No, but like, Cope comes back, and it is like, preface, it's great to see Adam Copeland healthy,
fresh off filming Percy Jackson season 2.
Same with FTR. Great to see FTR in there in a big spot, because I love them. But the saviors of AEW being Adam Copeland and FTR, I know they're not.
FTR have been there for most of the company's existence.
Yeah, but no, like FTR or whatever. But when it's FTR and Adam Copeland, which I know he's not going to win the title. No, like he's not. He fucking better not. But
no, he's
like,
not.
I know he's not going to. But him
what
being
he's going to do is going to cost Christian the chance to win the belt. Yeah,
exactly. But like, him being put in this role, just, it's like, the whole point of this is building up young guys. Like, why are you having Cope in here? We'll get through how they did it. So rated FTR come down and take it the Death Riders, and then Mox is dropped with a spear by Cope. Cope completes the set. Bit of Shield bingo going on with his little metal bar in the middle.
Crossface.
He's done to Seth and Roman previously, so there's nice little clips of that going around on Twitter. Cope then yells at Mox to look at him when he's talking to him, kid. He says that Mox was growing pubes when he started doing this.
Which is a great line, to be fair, great line.
Yeah. He then says that rated FTR are taking it all. So
I don't want Cope to win the world title. Please take the trios belts off the Death Riders. Please end the suffering.
Well, I think that's where we're going, right? They're going to take those trios belts, but
so they're setting up the main event of the first simulcast on Max, which is Fight for the Fallen, which the day of recording is tomorrow.
Left me feeling a bit flat. This.
Like, to be fair, great pay-per-view.
Oh yeah,
there's only really one dud, and unfortunately, it was the end.
Yeah, like, again, like AEW,
which is the opposite of last year's World End, which was pretty much until the last 2 matches.
Yeah, but like it's AEW. You know you're gonna get quality matches on. Like, the wrestling's always gonna be good, right? It's just just a bit of a flat ending, which is a shame. again, fine show. Really
yeah.
enjoyed everything else. C2 stuff was great.
4 potential match of the year candidates on this show.
Not bad, right? Not bad. Pretty up AW Street. But look, hopefully they kind of run through the cope stuff, and then we get on to something a bit more exciting with the lads.
Yeah. So should we, just before we go on to our finishing stretch, should we briefly mention what's coming up?
Yeah, go on, lay it on me, buddy.
All right. So I won't go over Wrestle Kingdom just because there's a whole preamble about that, but I will go over the matches on the show at the night after, which is Wrestle Dynasty, which is the co-promoted show between AEW, New Japan, and Stardom and CMLL. So we have 11 matches. The International Women's Cup 4-Way, which, before we get into anything, there has been a large sentiment by Puro nerds in the last few days where, they're not promoting the show. Even when Kenny Omega came out, which they did mention he has a match against Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty, so shut the fuck up. Gabe Kidd himself playing into that, just making himself look like a geek.
Oh, it was a good tweet though.
Yeah, so
it's a very good tweet.
We have the International Women's Cup final, the 4-way match. AEW's Willow Nightingale versus Persephone versus Stardom's Momo Watanabe versus the forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena, who is absolutely winning this match. Just use it so we can get to that Athena Mercedes match, because we know it's going to come at some point.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, the most random out of place match in this entire card. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara defend the Ring of Honor World titles against the House of Torture. Yeah. It's a weird one, that.
I like Dustin. You know?
Yeah, an 8-man lucha gauntlet match between 4 CMLL wrestlers and 4 New Japan wrestlers.
Oh, cool. That'd be
why not? Belt collector Monet looking to collect another belt, as in a winner-takes-all match, she defends her Strong Women's Championship against Mina Shirakawa, who defends the Rev Pro British Women's Championship.
So Monet's gonna have another belt.
Great O'Khan and someone against the Young Bucks for the vacant IWGP Tag Team Championship. It's probably Templario, the newest member of the United Empire.
Oh god, I thought you said, when you said Great O'Khan, I thought you said Great. I was like, hey, what's he doing here?
He wishes. It's like a little prayer. Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. Can't wait to see this.
Nah, that child.
It's gonna be beautiful.
I want Kenny to just murder him, man.
And the next of these matches, the one match we know for certain will be a confirmed title match. So on Wrestle Kingdom, as we mentioned earlier, Shingo Takagi, the never openweight champion, will be taking on Konosuke Takeshita, the AEW International Champion. Title versus title. Whoever wins that match and walks out the double champion, most likely Konosuke Takeshita, will defend his titles against Tomohiro Ishii, which, yes, thank you. I need that, please. Violence. Okay, so in the first of what could be many, many title matches, Yoda Tsuji takes on Jack Perry. Now, Yoda Tsuji is facing someone else who was on the card, David Finlay, for the Global Heavyweight Championship, the belt that is definitely not the Intercontinental Championship. David Finlay takes on Brody King, which is nice to see him get a Tokyo Dome match. He's going to kill that man.
He's gonna murder him, isn't he?
Yeah, and another match that depends on the outcome of the main event. As Shota Umino, Shooter, Mox's protege, takes on Claudio Castagnoli.
Ooh.
And what will most likely be the main event, and now makes more sense. This match could be for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
I would need to hear him do that in the Tokyo Dome. I need it. I need that visual so much.
Rick posting up the match grab. He's like, I'm meant to beat all your faves. So good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's great. It's a good show. And we should also probably talk about Fight for the Fallen.
This is the first charity show.
Yes, it is the first simulcast on Max. Which obviously they're doing this to help support victims of Hurricane Helene in Asheville, North Carolina, which is obviously where Raid FTR live.
Yes.
Which, great cause as always. I hope it does very well. But on that show we have a match that's been built up for a very long time. Julia Hart takes on Jamie Hayter.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be very, very good.
Moonsault. It's gonna be gorgeous.
Two matches that I'm sure you'll love that were just added last night. The Hurt Syndicate take on the Acclaimed.
Oh, they're gonna eat those boys up.
They are gonna eat those men alive. But in a match that was built via social media promo, as all the best matches are these days, Hangman Adam Page versus Orange Cassidy.
Ooh,
speaking of being eaten alive, yeah.
Gonna be a bloodbath.
Speaking of being eaten alive.
Oh no.
Yeah, and in the main event, as was set up in the main event of this show, the Death Riders take on Rated FTR. So that's John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta.
Yay!
No pack.
Boo!
I'm sure he'll do something or at least interfere in the main event in some way.
You fucking cowards.
I think Raid FTR probably win this match.
You reckon
a trios title match at some point. They
then you can have a match for an hour and it'll be lovely.
In Australia. It won't be the main event anyway because that's going to be Tony Storm.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so good stuff.
Yeah.
We've been going for a while now, so I think it's time to end.
Yeah. Get out of here, you bastards.
I've been talking for a very long time. Jeff, would you like to tell the beautiful people where they can find us and what kind of content we make besides these?
Yes, sir. So you can find us, the beautiful people, if you would like to sell us and Wrestless for more wrestling content. You can find us on our socials. That is at Wrestless Pod. That's on everything. On your Twitters, your Threads, you got them YouTubes, TikToks, your Instagrams, your everything. A new revamped and revitalized flavor from our absent co-host Sean Barodi with a new logo and kind of little backdrop. We're doing moves. We're making moves in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. We will be doing news videos, reviews, paper reviews. We will be doing some original content as well as hopefully getting the main kind of reason we did this podcast in the first place back up and running over the next couple of weeks. We hope to be doing our review of WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania XL. It's going to be a long, less structured, more fun little romp through what was Papa H's first little baby boy. As well as that, obviously, original content. David is going to be doing his Kings and Queens of the Indies. He's going to be doing it on Nigel McGuinness. He's going to be doing it on Billy Goat Will Ospreay. He's also going to be doing a very meta video in regards to Jack Perry, the scapegoat, and how real life blends with pro wrestling bollocks. It's going to be lovely stuff. I am going to be doing a retrospective on Bray Wyatt because I'm a big sad sack and I love him. I'm going to cry a lot. There's going to be terrible impressions and there's going to be everything from his beginnings in a different sport, his come around to wrestling, to family business, him tagging with his brother early on, the Husky Harris stuff, the Nexus stuff, getting shot back down, getting the Bray Wyatt cult leader character going, the Wyatt family, the Shield stuff, the Fiend, changing pro wrestling with the Firefly Funhouse, all that meta commentary, that beautiful stuff that we all love. It's going to be all a big bundle of bollocks that I'm going to do up for you in the new year. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be with a little bow. We're all going to have a lot of fun. David, is there anything you would like to say to the beautiful people before we skedaddle out of here, my friend?
I would just like to say thank you for all the stuff you've done for us this year.
Yes, sir.
We love you, fans.
We love you, Wrestless Pod.
Thank you. And just, thank you for letting us do this. We've had a lot of fun. We hope to bring you a lot more good content in the year to come.
So,
and just enjoy the wrestling you love, because wrestling should be fun.
Sláinte, tugad bagé, Chuck keys a gwibh. Go on the Irish.